Now, a sector you might have heard of called a pie graph before, and the way we can think of it is that all of the different sectors, they look like slices of pie. So here are the steps for constructing a sector graph. Step 1, you find the total of the scores. Step 2, you divide each score by that total you found, and then multiply it by 360 to find the degree of each sector. Now, the reason why we multiply it by 360, you might think, is because there's 360 degrees in a circle. Step 3, you construct each sector from biggest size to smallest. And step 4, we colour and label your sector graph and add a key. Copy these notes into your book by just pausing the screen and copying them down so we have our steps. Cool. So following our steps, here we've got some favourite footballers of some different people. Step number 1 was find the total. So we would add all these numbers up and put the total down the bottom. Now to get the angle, following step 2, we divide the score by the total and then multiply by 360. So what you would type in your calculator is 6 divided by 24 times 360, and when you press equals, you would get 90 degrees. Now, you don't have to write 6 divided by 24 times 360 in your table, you just need to write 90, but this is just to show you what you would type in your calculator. If we do the next one, we're going to do 4 divided by 24 times 360 in the calculator, and that would get 60. Now the next one, why don't you try putting 7 divided by 24 times 360 into your calculator. Press pause and put that in your calculator following this pattern. So hopefully you got 105. And that's what we would normally put in. We'd just put the angle into our table. Now you can check my answer, but the next one I'm going to do 2 divided by 24 times 360 and I would get 30. And the last one, 5 divided by 24 times 360 and I get 75. Now the final check we do to make sure that we've done it correctly is that we should have 360 degrees in our circle. So we should add these angles up to see if we get 360 degrees, and if we put it in the calculator we do, so we've done it correctly. Now step number 3, we've done step number 2. Step number 3, construct each sector from biggest to smallest. So, and with 105 degrees. So this is how we construct our sector graph. We draw a line from the top to the middle. Yours already has a line on it. We put our protractor, so our little crosshairs matches up with the tip of the line. We look at the 0 on the outside where our line is pointing. We follow the outside numbers around to 105, and then we use our pencil to put a dot. Then we can move our protractor out of the way and reposition it and actually use this side of the protractor as a ruler. We can draw a line using our protractor and our pencil, and there we have our first sector. Now a good idea is to colour our sector in to match the colour that we've picked for Ferdinand, but also writing Ferdinand in the sector. Cool, so we're going to do the next one. The next biggest sector is going to be Owen with 90 degrees. Now we use this new line that we drew to put our protractor against. We line up the crosshairs, we look at the 0 on the outside that our line points to, we look on the outside sign, and we draw a dot with our pencil. So you might want to watch this video before you do it, or you might want to watch and then pause and have a go yourself. But if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind and then listen again. So protractor here, looked on the outside, draw a dot to 90. We can move our protractor out of the way and reposition it to draw our line up here like before. And so coloured our sector with Owen, and I picked orange. All right, the next biggest one is Beckham. So he's with 75 degrees. So I line up my protractor with the new line, crosshairs at the middle. I look at the 0 on the outside, follow it around to 75, draw a dot with my pencil, reposition my protractor and draw a line to the center. Color it in and label. Next one is gigs with 60 degrees. I'm going to put my projector at the new line, look at the 0, follow the outside to 60 degrees, put a dot with my pencil, reposition my protractor, draw a line, and then colour that in red and label it gigs. Now my last sector, I don't even need to measure. If I've done all of my measurements correctly, you might want to check it, but you should have 30 degrees left. So I can just pick a new colour and label it Fowler. Cool. So if you want to watch that again, you can watch it again and then do it on your own sheet. Otherwise, you can move on to the next graph, which is favourite sports, different types of sports that these people like. Remember, ask me if you have any questions.